Hello everyone. In this session, we will be going to talk about the packed bubble chart. A packed bubble chart is a dynamic and visually engaging data visualization technique which is used to display the hierarchical data with multiple levels of categories and values. It's particularly effective when you want to show the relationship and the proportions between the data elements, especially in the dataset with complex structures. In a packed bubble chart, data is represented as circles or bubbles arranged hierarchically. The size of each bubble represents a numeric value, while the nesting of the bubble indicates the hierarchical relationship. The larger bubble encompasses the smaller ones, which provides a visual hierarchy and conveying the information about the proportion and distribution of values within each category. During our practical demonstration in Tableau, we will explore how to create the packed bubble charts and to visualize the hierarchical data structures. You will also learn how to assign the dimensions and measures to represent the categories and values, customize the labels and colors to enhance the clarity, and manipulate the charts to reveal the insights about proportions and relationships. Whether you are analyzing organizational structures, products categories, or any hierarchical data set, packed bubble charts offer a visually engaging way to communicate complex data relationships. So let's go to the Tableau screen and see how we can create these packed bubble charts. Now, we are in our Tableau screen and working with a global superstore data set. To create a packed bar chart, I can go in the show me menu and see what is the minimum requirement. So the minimum requirement to create a packed bubble chart is one or more dimension and one or at least two measures. So maximum it would support two measures, and for dimensions it says either one or it can be maximum than one also. There is no limit given for us right now. So let's talk a bit more about it. So whenever you are trying to make any packed bubble chart, so I make one packed bubble chart. Let's say I'm making it for sales for subcategory. I'll go in the show me menu and I'll click on this packed bubble chart. So what is now happening is that whatever sales is happening, let's consider the sales as a part of the whole bubble. Now, small parts have been made for each of the subcategories, and the size of these bubbles represent the sales that have been done. So the bigger the bubble, the more sales has been done. On the right hand side, we have this legend. This legend tells us that which particular subcategory it is. Because whenever you're trying to make a packed bubble chart, you won't be making it in a common scenario. It would be just when you have too much space and you want to create a visual that can be fit in that space and that could make some sense. So while packed bubble chart makes some sense, but it is very difficult for us whenever there are too many categories or values over here. If you want to show every value, you have to decrease the font size over here, which practically in some cases is not possible because then it would be difficult for us to view these categories. So this chart fails at that particular. But if you want to create it with minimum values, you can do so and it would look good. So let's try to create another packed bubble chart. This time I'm taking the shipping mode. So I'll just double click on the shipping mode and double click on the sales value. Now I can easily convert it into the packed bubble charts. And as you can see, it has now converted into the packed bubbles and it is showing me all the values. On the right hand side, I have these legends, but as I have these legends inside also, so I don't need this. So what I can do is I can just hide this. Now, if you want to see the value of sales also, and the sales would be also shown over here. Now the same thing is happening over here also. Since same day is showing, the sales inside the same day is not showing. So for that I have to go in the label, and over here I have to decrease the size. So right now it is 9. Let's make it 7 and see if it's work or not. So it is not working at, yeah, it's working at 7. So as I decrease the font size, it starts working. But now you can see the other labels are very hard to read. So this is the thing that happens whenever you are making the packed bubble chart. If that bubble is too small, it would be very high. It would be very hard for us to identify what is the value inside. Now let's take another example of packed bubble. What are the things that you can do with this packed bubble? So let's go back in our sheet where we were talking about the subcategory. And here I have already taken the dimension as subcategory. Now what if I want to take a different dimension in the form of category, and I know it should create a hierarchy because these subcategory belong to a category. So I can drag this category in the colors. Now, whatever subcategory would be belonging to a specific category, its color should be shown in different color. Over right hand side, you can see whatever is in blue belongs to furniture, whatever is in yellow belongs to office supplies, and red is for technology. And for the formatting option, I can always go in the colors option, edit colors, and I can edit the colors here. That can be done easily. Now, let's look at a third example. Let us use two measures at once. So what I'll do this time is category with some higher values. Let's take the markets. And there are 6, 7 markets with me right now. and I want to see the sales. Let's try to convert it into this packed bubbles. Now you can see the sales in different markets. Now, what if I want to change the colors and I want to see a different measure over here? I want the colors to reflect the profit. What can I do for that? So first, let's drag the sales in label, show the label in terms of this particular inside these bubbles. Now I can drag the profit and I can drop it over here in colors. The color has been changed and it has been adjusted based on the profit that is being done. The lighter the color, the least is the profit. The darker the color, the higher will be the profit. So these are some of the ways in which you can try to create the packed bubbles. The first example I showed you, where we just created a simple packed bubble chart. The second one was based on a hierarchy where each color was representing a different category and these bubbles were showing some subcategory. The third one was showing two different measures in a single packed bubble chart. So here I can easily identify the sales as well as profit. And if you want to see the profit or inside this also, again you can drag this profit in labels also and it would be shown. But it would be hard to identify which was the legend on the right hand side. And that would help us to identify the profit as well as the sales. So this was all about the packed bubble chart. Next modules, we will look at how can we create some advanced visualizations in Tableau, which are not present in the Show Me menu.